Welcome back, MTG Joe here, and playing some more Historic. It is my favorite format right now. It is super fun and a bunch of cool things to play. There's a couple videos up already. If you do have any suggestions for cool brews, anything like that, do let me know on YouTube or Instagram or Twitter, whatever is easiest to get a hold of me. What we are trying out today is a Humans Tribal deck. There's a couple variations that I've seen on the ladder. Basically, with the power of two lands, Unclaimed Territory and Ancient Ziggurat, you could pretty much play a 3 to 4 color mana base pretty easy for humans. It's pretty much a base white with splashes. So this particular version we're doing Mardu, so red, white, black. I've seen Esper, so blue instead of the red. I've seen a couple other variants. I don't think Meddling Mage is that good because it just dies to sweepers. And I think it's better to just go more aggressive with the Knights list, or the Humans list. So basically what we're trying to do is play a bunch of humans and then have synergies with stuff like General Kudro, which makes them bigger. You have General's Enforcer that makes our legendaries indestructible. You also have Judith, which serves as a pseudo lord and ping damage. Tajik prevents from burn-based damage, and then you have like Dauntless Bodyguard to protect, Venerable Knight, which can put on some knights. We do have a somewhat of a knight sub-theme, not really, but it's pretty much a 1-mana 2/1. Thalia prevents non-creature spells from being cast for, basically taxes them one more. It's also a first striker, which is pretty good. Kitesail Freebooter can take cards from your opponent's hand. Robber for card advantage, Burglar for card advantage. Burglar gets pretty much all our creatures except Tajik and Kudro. And then you have 2 Dire Tactics in the main board. The mana base, a couple planes. I don't know if I want the Savannah Trinome. We'll see about that. But then just some shocks. And going from there, 23 lands. Our curve's fairly low. Sideboard-wise, we have Giant Killer for like the Gruul matchups, bigger creature matchups. Redcap Melee is particular for Winota, but also the red-based aggro decks. Apostle of Purifying Light is for graveyard decks, as well as like Cat Oven, stuff like that. Tocatli Honor Guard shuts off ETB style effects, so it turns off like Ajani and stuff like that. Dire Tactics, more removal. Virulent Plague is for the field matchups, also very good incidentally against mono white. And then Ajani's for the control matchup. It allows us to put pressure, reanimate, and get an emblem. So we'll try it out, see how it goes. One thing I might want to try, and we'll see in the games, is play some number of Luris in the main board. Not as a companion, but as a way to kind of reoccur value. I think I'm at 96% Mythic right now. Yeah. So we did play a couple cool decks. Garuda Cannon with Ulamog, Rakdos Obliterator, Historic Gruul. I have a Reanimator I'm working on. So try to get out a Historic video a day and take it from there. So let's fire this up. So as always, if you do enjoy the content, whether you're catching it live or on YouTube, if you do enjoy it, if you can drop a follow or a sub, either on Twitch or YouTube, both are free and easy ways to help support out the channel. And like I said, if you have any requests, anything you'd like to see, do let me know. I think this hand's fine. General Enforcer is a good 2-drop, and we can go into Kudro, which will protect the... Enforcer protects Kudro. Kudro also incidentally gets rid of stuff in the graveyard, exile, and then you can sack humans. Okay, so this is Merfolk. So drawing... Basically, all our lands hasn't been that good. This is a matchup where we're just going to want to overload on removal post board. Because they have unblockables, it makes it a little bit more difficult. Normally we could chump with bigger things, but this can get out of hand if they start putting counters on it. So would like something... main board, they're usually fairly high creature density. Post board, they can bring... Okay, no, play. That might be Merfolk Trickster. So this might be a Tricky Dick. Yep. They attack for 3 here. Play draw is probably going to be relevant. So Mirror Regery is one of the cards from Historic. It's the Lord whenever you play. So I think we do Shock and play Kudro here, and then just play defense. This does make our things bigger. This also makes it unblockable. So they can hit for 2. We do need to be mindful if they have something like... So they have 2 Lords in Mirror Regery and Merfolk Mistbinder. They could Trickster again. This can also make tokens. So I think next turn I just play Bugler because it could give me Vigilance. Okay, so second Lord is a little unfortunate. Deep. So their sequencing is a little odd here. Oh, I guess they get to tap both. Yeah, we're dead here. Nice curve by the opponent. Alright, so this matchup, Dire Tactics, and then Giant Killers in. Thalias could come out. Probably want Tocatli Honor Guard, and then we can get rid of the Freebooters. So we don't really have too much ETB style effects. I think we run it like that. They're going to be a bit quicker. This is something we need to see. So they don't have hard removal, but they do have the tempo plays. Okay, I'll keep this hand. I think we put back Blood Crypt. Hey, Master Chief. Going pretty well. Just started off this set. Got out Merfolked in game 1. How's it going with you? So this hand we can go 1 drop, 2 drop. Yeah, it's been awesome. I'll have it up tomorrow, but we were playing Sultai Garuda today, and I turned forward multiple times Ulamog, which was pretty sweet. They shocked in. Could be unsummon. It's very weird. So I'm already not liking this Savannah Trinome. I'm gonna cut it. Yeah, even like the powerful, like we haven't seen much, yeah, they go Trickster. What do they tap here? So I'm gonna offer this. Are you playing the blue-white wizards with Luris, like the tempo wizards? So a pretty cool interaction here. You could go Dauntless Bodyguard, protect this, which then protects this. I gotta try that one out. Do you mind DMing me your list? So I think at this point, I'm just gonna play Giant Killer out. I can use it to tap down creatures, but I think at this point we're just going to try to overwhelm them. I'm going to cut this Savannah Trinome after the game. I think I'm going to put probably another Plains. And now we're punished for doing this. We could have killed the Trickster. The annoying thing with this is every single game action requires you to respond. So the thing too is what I can do is... Man, they just dumped their whole hand. So I can attack, and depending on how they block, I can sacrifice creatures to kill their lords. So I can kill this lord. Okay, we got dire tactics as well, which is nice. You're colorless, right? So get rid of Mirror Regery. And then the dead. Yeah, no, Historic's nice. Like, having these Eternal formats is always good. I think we just run it back. I think this game plan is probably the way we need to approach it. I do like the opponent's build of Merfolks, just being able to go pretty aggressive. The fact they got to go on the play in this game is probably going to be the difference. We're both very linear aggro decks. I think I want to retool the sideboard too. This hand's not very good. We're dead here. "23 lands, and we never saw more than 2 lands in 3 hands. Not the best variance, but yeah, Vanguard's very good as like a way to punish board wipe decks. And that's maybe something we want in this deck, even though it's not a human. Okay, and they go double Biomancer. If they attack, I probably take the trade. Because now I can hold up this dire tactics. If we hit another land, I can Kudro. Ideally, I would like... okay, so they brought in Sleep against us. That is something notable. Okay, so Mirror Regery is something that's going to have to die. I'm probably just going to do it now. Like, I can try to do it in combat, but they're a blue-based deck. They might have counters, and I don't want them to get the Enter the Battlefield abilities. Do I try to take a turn? No. Opponent wisely doesn't take our bluff. So next turn I can Kudro. And then drop the Robber to follow it. Okay, and they have another one. Probably attacking here. Opponent seems to have drawn like consistent Regeries. Doesn't really matter the exile here. Do we push in damage? I think we wait. Because I can make him bigger next turn. They have sleep, because I have to be wary of them pumping. Or either sleep or just playing creatures tapping down my things. Deeproot Elite. I have 2 pseudo indestructibles. Probably tap down the Kudro, because depending on my block, I have to sack this. Seems like the worst one to tap down. I really like a removal spell for this. We're doing okay considering we mulled to 5 this game. Okay, we have Tajik. Tajik's not bad because it can give first strike. So how likely am I dead on the crackback? Okay, I'll take a look after, thanks. So 4, 7, 10, 13. It's not lethal. They have 2, 4, 6, 9. This puts a counter on something. They can adapt here. That puts another. So it's 10, potentially 11, 12. If they have a Lord, it's 2, 4, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I can't go all out. So I think what we do is attack like this, Mentor. And then I can block Protect. So this lets me put some pressure on them. This one's pretty tight. They're on the play, so they're able to assemble their board faster. Okay, so they have Trickster. Are we dead? We might be dead. 3, 5, 7. I don't think the block is right. I don't think they read Kudro. Oh no, because they tapped the abilities. Oh, good call, good call. And they have a Regery. What a top deck. That lets them lord up. 9, exactly 13. Ah. Okay, we gotta fix the sideboard. That's annoying. They have exactly... Because they brought in counters. I think we want just more direct damage. I don't think I want Giant Killer. I'd rather just have Lava Coils. Not being able to kill smaller things seem bad. Okay, let's run it back, see how it goes. Yeah, I guess because they had the Trickster anyway, so they're going to shut it off. They had a very good succession of draws. Play draw maybe made a difference there, but we'll see. So playing first here. We're a little heavy on lands, but I don't mind it. So the question here... I think we hold the Trinome just in case we flood. I can cycle it. I'll probably lead with the knight and then go, you're a knight as well, so, okay. Playing Philly cheesesteak. Judith acting as a lord. May want Embercleave in this deck. So I'm going to go tap blind here, play the Dauntless Bodyguard, protect Venerated Knight. See if they take the trade here. Because the thing is, they can just sack this anyways. Bodyguard come in. They would probably sack it in response to the Bodyguard. Dire Tactic's pretty good as well. So this matchup, if they're mono red, they likely have Chain Whirler, so we need to be mindful of the Chain Whirler. Our 1 toughness things aren't going to do too well. Goblins. Okay. I can try to take what they have in hand. I think we just get Judith down. So Judith's actually pretty good because I can sack this at any time and then kill something with 1 toughness with the Judith trigger. If they have a Lord, I have the Dire Tactics. So Gem Palm's one of the new ones. Deals damage where X is the number of goblins. So if I sack here, kill one of these in response, it only deals 1 damage. Okay, so they have to sack this. But basically just resource denial here. So, see what's in the opponent's hand. Whole lot of gobos. So I think I'm actually going to shock here because I want to be able to Dire Tactics. This is definitely a matchup where we want a Lord. They'll probably go Goblin Warchief here. And that's something you want to take off the battlefield. Matron puts cards into your hands, and then Volley deals damage to target creature. I go Matron here. Interesting. So keeping this to cycle. We forgot to cut this in between games. This should have been a basic plains. Okay, so they have the Gem Razor. You can only deal to target creature. Need something a little bit more impactful. Instigators are fine. So Kudro probably... So they probably cycle to kill for Kudro. Which is probably fine, because that's going to take most of their turn anyways. I think we just poke for 2 here. So we got a lot of like pretty... Oh, I guess that's another way that they can take out Kudro. Yikes. Still want to get rid of War Chief. So I think we take the 4. Just because the haste is something I'm worried about. If they don't play anything to the board, then I'm just going to cycle this. Yeah, we're probably dead this game. Our deck's not... Or at least our draw wasn't great for this go wide strategy. That's a decent body. So they can cycle here, kill the Militia Bugler. I think I just want like as many 2/3s as possible. Them having the answer early for Judith wasn't that good. Sideboard wise though, we have a few answers, so they probably cycle here. Kill the Enforcer, cycle again, kill the Bugler. I've been very cautious with this War Chief. I think this is probably the turn you play it out. Interesting. I will take that block. When we're the aggro deck and can't get aggressive. Okay, so we kill it this turn. Scourge Prospector can generate a lot of mana. Again, this is just going to be something that gets hit. So they can do this now. They can sack it for mana. I'm actually surprised because what they could have done was sack for 2 mana and then just cycled here and then killed the Judith. When they do kill the Judith, I'm going to get rid of the Scourge Prospector. We've seen 2 Gem Palms, 3 Gem Palms. So them drawing 3 of these so far has been pretty significant. The deck doesn't really play removal otherwise. Like I guess there's this dude, but 2 mana. Oh, they had it. Opponent's drawn well. Cycle, kill one of these. Ooh, Crater Maker. Yeah, we're dead. They have they kill this, attack with everything. Alright, so this is a... Plague seems decent. They'll have tokens, Redcap, everything with removal. Alright. Thalia could come out. Kitesail Freebooter could come out. Yeah, it's nice to watch. It's actually quite difficult to build decks properly without knowing what you're going against. I don't think Plague's probably worth it. There's a lot of 2/1s, so probably trim some of these. go like that. Because they probably, like, if you're playing goblins, you have to have Chain Whirler. It's like the best goblin, and it's great in these types of matchups. Us not having, like, all our removals 1-for-1, and they have a lot of things that generate like multiple sources of value. Okay, so going to Tocatli Honor Guard on 2 is going to be very good. You aren't legendary. I think I may prefer the Esper version. You can play a bit more disruption. I like Deputy of Detention to be able to clean up things. With red, you do get like burn-based removal, but you have stuff like Dire Tactics. You can play Cast Down, stuff like that. 1 second, let me turn on a light. Okay. Also, it being a 1/3 is relevant. So really just want to see some red lands. So they could Gem Palm, kill Tocatli, or like Gem Palm, deal 2, then sack this, kill Tocatli. You can't really play around that with Dire Tactics. Okay, so they have Crater Maker. So we're going to get rid of this now because they can sack and then sack. We want Tocatli here. So they do have an option. They can sack this, make a mana, pay 2, deal 2 damage, sack this, deal that damage. But it's basically clearing out their whole board. Do need a red source. These Lava Coils looking particularly bad right now. Also, that game 1, we never hit whatchamacallit. So they'll probably attack in with Scourge Prospector here. We're not taking the block. So kind of a red source. I'm going to do this, because this is what's going to kind of get some extra damage in. And I'm doing this to clear the board so I can attack with Robber here. Now I can cast this, which is nice. Gives me something to do with my mana if I don't hit a red source. Do I have enough red sources? I guess if I'm going post-board, yeah, I definitely need... Tocatli turns off ETB triggers. So they can trade if they want. I am going to cast this War Chief. I think if we're bringing this much red, I need to add more red sources to the mana base. We can probably forgo basic lands in this deck. Or just go Yeah, well, there's our red source. Good for the next turn. Start lava coiling. Shutting off this was nice. Icon of Ancestry might be something we'd want to try out as well. Maybe instead of, yeah, because they're just digging here. Playing Slate instead of Tajik. I haven't been too impressed with Tajik. Like, it protects you against Clarion, but that's probably not the best. This lighting is awful. 1 second. That's good, because now I can go kill this and then hold up Redcap Melee. Thing is, we need some action. They can draw extra cards each turn. Militia Bugler would be good. Another General's Enforcer just to pump mana into it. Robber can provide some card advantage. So they can do that, clear their board. Seems decent for them, because I have to probably keep this War Chief back. Actually, that was a solid draw. This lets me start making human tokens. So this refills their hand for them. I'm probably going to have to use this for the War Chief. You have haste. So not quite enough to do double spell. I'm a little worried about this turn, to be honest. If they come down with that. This makes things cheaper. Also gives haste. I think if I was... I guess you can just pressure. I think we block like this, take 2, Lava Coil, that, and then hope to... No. Not enough. Drawing the land. We drew a lot of lands this game. And then we're dead just to this trigger. Oh, they got Bone Crusher. Humans ain't doing so hot. Let's fix up this mana base a bit. So let's go get rid of this. Get rid of the plains. Play Clifftop. Clifftop's a little awkward with these Ziggurats, but everything else comes into play untapped. Let's get rid of Tajik. Let's play Icon. Yeah, it makes all these things better. The thing is, we've kept running into aggro, and we've hedged some of our stuff to be anti-aggro, or anti-control. I think our sideboard's still fine. If anything, let's go up another Tocatli. Alright. Do I have 14 cards in my sideboard? 15. Actually, let me give Arena a quick reset and we'll fire it up for one more. Feels like we're too slow of an aggro deck. Like we're a critical mass deck that we can't interact if they go wide and we aren't going big enough. And like when I've been playing against these human decks, like I've been playing with Gruul or stuff like that, you can just usually go over the top. And I don't think we're fast enough for cleave. I think maybe instead of like Venerated Knight, we do the... Why are we getting such bad draws? So I gotta put one away. I think we put back the Clifftop. Oh, opponent's on... This is a meme deck, so you play Treasure Hunt to get Zenith Flare and all your cards upcycling. Unless it's Nexus. Nexus sometimes plays it. Like, they'll play Breeding Pool, but they wouldn't shock in to just do that. Unless they're trying to dig for Treasure Hunt. But you usually multi-hit Treasure Hunt. Okay, yeah, so this is... well, they could still play Sharknado. It's probably Nexus. Yeah. So we need a Freebooter. Actually, they missed the land off Uro. So if we can cast Judith next turn, may be able to get there. Sick. That's 12. And then I can sack the Dauntless Bodyguard, and then they're dead. So they need to counter this. Okay, so it's felt better, the current build. Or like, I think we need more 1-drops. Like, I think Fervent Champion would be better than this Venerated Knight. Go to end step. Is this just Nexus? Yep. Time Walk Nexus. So, there's still a potential we may never get another turn. They can try to put enough things into the graveyard. They probably have Root Snare. In their main board, so that's something also to be mindful of. Is their hand just like all Nexus? The stupid bodyguard, I have to respond to everything. Okay, they hit their land. If they get something like... Okay, so now they have Tameo. So there's a good chance we don't ever get another turn. We haven't seen much Nexus. Okay, so they could just Sharknado, make a big creature. They don't have enough for Nexus. Is this Brazen Borer? And then make a shark. Oh no, I can't cast thing. No! Arena. Because here they have to block or they're dead. Yeah, I think we just gotta put them that they're dead. Because the thing is, if we don't do that, they go to 1 anyways, and then they just block the one that's going after Cameo. So might as well force their hand. Just play this out. That would have been a nice follow-up. Ziggurat! We had him dead. They named Nexus of Fate. Well, they can also Uro back. Yeah, okay, we're dead now. They Uro back, and then they Nexus of Fate, and then I never get another turn. I don't have much for this matchup. I don't have... let's bring in the Honor Guards. Cut. I'm just gonna get rid of the removal. Probably... Thalia is actually very good. Probably a couple Generals and Enforcers. Actually, cut Militia Bugler. Because the thing is, if they get Uro down, I'm probably dead. So there's no sense of us having removal in for situational. Like, it can work with a shark, but I'd rather not. Okay, sounds decent. I would like a Thalia if possible. The thing is, they probably bring in Root Snares, which is going to make it a lot harder now. They can also bring in stuff like Lovestruck Beast. No opt on one is pretty good. This is more damage. I have 5 cards. They have 6, which is... Let me do this now. I can play out Judith, but I want to be able to hit something. Potentially a Reclamation. Blink of an Eye, Thassa's Intervention, Shark Typhoon. Let's get rid of Blink of an Eye. Well, if we ever get to 7 mana, we're the Nexus player. If anything, it does take one out of their library. They can pump this up. See if they Thassa's Intervention here. So I'm not attacking with the Freebooter because they can make a shark and kill it. Okay, so now we attack with the Freebooter. Ah, I should have played the land. Could have exiled something else. That was a mistake. So next turn again is just jam Judith. In case they have another blink effect, I don't want to do it because this is potentially lethal. They can make a shark for 3, trade with something. Part of the reason too is because they can make a shark for 3. They go Brazen Borrower. So I'm going to drop Tocatli here, is because they're going to be incentivized to pop this blast zone. And they got Wreck. Because that lets them bounce and draw the card, which is annoying. They have Nexus of Fate too. This lets him play this out. They are down 1 Nexus because we exiled it with the Robber. It's come up very timely. That seems wrong. You pop that. Judith deals a point of damage. Oh, did they not have a counter on it before? They might have not had the counter. This is the old style. You haven't seen as many play Blink of an Eye. Come on, opponent. They may still be dead here. Because they go Blink of an Eye. Draws them a card. But I have Robber. With my luck, they're going to have Brazen Borrower and that. We've hit good cards. I almost could cast Nexus of Fate. Have another bounce. Opponent has had it all. This out again. So they can't kill. they need to have 2 bounces or somehow chain together a bunch of Nexus of Fates and just kill us. Opponent's draw this game has been quite good. Out of cards, draw one of your 3 copies of Nexus of Fate that's left. Now they're going to find Uro. Oh, they kept it on top, so probably Nexus or Uro. This deck hasn't been that good. They have 3 Nexus left, and their deck's still 40 cards. It's actually humorous. Okay, that bodes well. Means we might get a turn. Top, bottom. Oh, you know what? I messed that up again. I should have played the land because I know they kept it on top, so I could have exiled the top card of their library. At least I have, if they play Uro, I can exile Uro from the graveyard here. Yeah, they probably have Nexus. They always have Nexus. Just the amount of bounce that they've had and just like very timely spells. Like they've cast Nexus like 4 times already. Okay, Thassa's Intervention. That most likely finds them Nexus. And based on that, they're trying to hold up for Root Snare. This deck also lacks Reach. Okay, but I can cast Nexus of Fate. GG? GG? Who's the Nexus player now? Oh, I gotta remember that. Mardu Human Nexus. If they have Brazen Borrower, I think we just get rid of the icon. Play it like that. Have like 1 dire tactic in there. Nah. I'm here to turn creatures sideways. I guess the well, between Kudro, the General's Enforcer, I can attack the graveyard. They are on the play here. This is a lot of lands. So we can go to Tocatli on 2. That hopefully can shut off like an Uro ETB. Actually, no. Tocatli's bad in this matchup. It means Uro doesn't escape. So that was a critical error on my part. She should not be in the deck. Lets them Uro. They have Aether Gust, so we're going to go General Kudro next turn. That lets me double spell the following turn. They could Thassa's Intervention. Okay, they can Shark for 2. They're just going to pump this up, is my guess, to try to kill this to get the Wilderness Reclamation back. I guess it refills their hand. So I know they have the Aether Gust, but I want to try to get it out of their hands. This should not be here. Because this doesn't make me exile anyways. Well, they cycled that for nothing. So I'm guessing the turn is pump this up. Search is good for them. So I'm going to do Robber first. It probably resolves. But if they are inclined to Aether Gust it, perfect. Seems reasonable. The attack trigger still comes down. That deals some damage there. So I can sack. Ooh. Okay. So what I can do is I can sack 2 humans. And then to kill General Kudro. And then it deals 3 damage. And it gets him that way. Do they have Nexus? Scanta? Okay. So I have the alternate line. The kill your own board. Opponent's digging. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to kill him with that. Can't believe we stole it from Nexus. Alright, so wrapping this one up, I think there's elements of the deck that are decent, but it felt a little... Little wonky. Come on. I believe in you, Arena. Alright, well, Arena has had enough of me today. So I'm going to wrap this one up. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. And we'll catch you next time.